Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Creations by Christine. That's me. So in today's video, I am going to show you how to make this wonderful summer top. And it comes complete with the back corset. I call it corset. It's corset style, I guess. But it's absolutely adorable. I get it to focus on my camera here. There we go. You can see the zigzag pattern. So for today's video, we're going to be working this from the back side around under the arm and then up the top across the chest where we will widen it for your chest, and then back around the right armpit where we'll decrease again, and finish off with the other part of the back panel. So we're working around our body this way. And then we will attach straps and make the string, and I'll show you how to put the little loops in to fasten the string in. So make sure you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and subscribe down in the corner. Hit the little notification bell as well so that you're notified every time I post a new video. I have just started my Southpaw Stitch series. I have uploaded my episode 1 if you guys would like to check that out. I'll link it down in the description box below. And so yeah, let's jump in and get started. And I'll show you how to make this cute top yourself. Okay, to start this tutorial off, you are going to need approximately 450 yards of a size 4. This is just a size 4 acrylic yarn. Coincidentally, my nails match it today. So you're going to need to grab yourself a few stitch markers, a needle to sew in your ends, measuring tape. This is probably the most useful tool in crocheting wearables. Measure, measure, measure. So measuring tape is a must. And a pair of scissors. So these are my scissors here. Just a little pair like that. Okay, so and last but not least, you will need your crochet hook. I'm using a size 5mm, which I believe is also oh goodness, I think it's a J. I just googled it before I started recording. I believe it's a J hook. I'll put in some text if I'm wrong. Okay, so when I first made my Ice Yarns idea, I call it my Ice Yarns idea shirt, I decided to do a visual pattern like this. Sorry, my cord's in the way. Okay, so I called it my Ice Yarns idea. Excuse my drawing, it's terrible. I am by no means an artist. I am a creator. So I create, I don't draw. So you can basically see the layout of the shirt itself. It's just a one flat panel. Because I'm a lefty, I am working from left to right on my patterns. All of you righties will be working the opposite way. But we're basically going to be working, starting going this way, and then just back and forth, and then increasing here a little bit, and then leveling off, and just keep going back down, decreasing here, and then finishing off, and then we'll go back in and we'll add in our straps, and this cute little corset style zigzaggy bow tie at the back. And when it's closed, it's just gonna look like that. The back panels here, where you see the dotted lines, that's about where your armpit is. So this back panel will be covering your sides and partial of your back. So depending on how you want yours to look, what size you are, you're going to want to measure yourself. Now, I have a rough sketch in here of the top as well. I sent this to my sister-in-law so that she can give me her measurements. Again, I'm not an artist, so forgive my poor illustrations. So this was my first idea here, and I had done a 9-inch panel for the side to back cover, and I found that was too big for me. So depending on your size, you can adjust. So I went and I adjusted mine to 5.5 inches. And I liked the length that I had, which was 12 inches. So in order to find the measurements for yourself, you're going to want to measure across here, right across your underarms, around your chest size to find your chest. And you're also going to want to measure from your armpit down to wherever you want the shirt to end. If you want a crop top, you're obviously going to have a lot less work to do. I prefer a lower, maybe peekaboo midriff kind of. I don't like to show a ton of midriff, so I want mine more full length. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to measure from your nipple to your nipple directly across, and you're going to add in your measurement here. I suggest you grab a scrap paper and doodle along as I talk, because you'll be able to sketch out your own little pattern. And so when you're measuring yourself, you want to measure from nipple to nipple, and when you put it into your pattern design, that's going to be the measurements from the strap to strap across your chest. And that's for me, I picked 11 inches for this one. My first one was 16 inches, I believe. Oh no, sorry, it would be 10 inches across. Yeah, right there, sorry, it's right there, 10 inches across. That was a little too short. I didn't have enough chest space, so I'm going to give it another inch. This is the bonus of making multiples. This is actually the third one I've made, so I'm so excited to get this one bang on. And don't be discouraged if it takes you multiple tries, because wearables are tricky, and you just got to practice. That's all it is. The practice makes permanent, because nobody's perfect. That's what I always say. So again, carrying on, once you get your full chest measurement, you're going to want to jot it in down here, because you're going to want to make sure that from this first line here to this last line here will be, in my case, 17 inches. So that's basically what I did was you measure your chest, and then you divide that number in half. So that would give me 17 inches for the width that I wanted. I think I had a little, I had a little less on the first one. And so I'm giving it an extra inch, but I'm also taking out an extra 2-3 inches off the sides too. But I wanted to incorporate that extra inch into 1/2 inch on each side. So again, this one's going to be a little different from my first one, so I'm so excited to try it. The back, this is basically the square where we're starting. So you're going to want to figure out from a measurement from your underarm or your hip to your partial mid back. Like if we pretend this is a back instead of a front, you want to go to about here, just so you have enough room. You want to leave a couple inches in between so you can see that crisscross back lacing pattern that you're going to be working so hard on. That's going to turn out like this. So you want to leave enough of a gap where my hook is covering, so that when you wear it, it will be a little taut and you'll be able to see the zigzags. That's my goal anyways. Feel free to adjust to however you see fit. So again, we're going to make sure that they're both even on the same sides. And my straps are about 1.5 inches wide. Sometimes I have a wider bra strap that I like to wear, so it's nice to have that coverage in there so you're not seeing strap. And again, once you get your measurements for, sorry, let me see where I lost my train of thought. Once you get your measurements from your armpit to where you'd like the end to end on your back, you need to measure from your armpit to your nipple, to your direct mid nipple right here. And for me, I have selected I don't think I put it on here. My last one though, it was 3 inches. It was 3 inches here, and then on the green one, and then when I redid it on the yellow one, I kept the same 3 inches. That's why I didn't have anything written there, because I knew this was going to be 3 inches. Oh, and it's, no, I lied, sorry, it is right here. 3 inches, my apologies. I just didn't have enough space. So, if you can kind of understand what I'm going for here with my beautiful illustrations, once you have all your measurements out, then you can pick your hook up and you can start to select your yarn. And to be honest, I used just a 4-weight, you know, standard acrylic. I think this one is Bernat Comfort. I threw away the wrapper because it was making a huge mess and it was all ripped, but I'm pretty sure it's Bernat Comfort, size 4 yarn. Actually, just give me 1 second and I will grab the other ball that I have that's the same. And it does still have the wrapper, and it is Bernat worsted. My apologies. So let me move my book out of the way here. Bernat worsted. It is part of the Great Value brand, and this is the instructions for it. So if you'd like to use the same yarn, feel free. As I said, it's a 4-weight yarn. It's calling for 5mm, hook. We're not knitting today. And it's saying that 14 rows and 13 single crochets will make a 4x4 inch or 10 by 10 centimeter swatch. So I just kind of judge. I always do a swatch first just to make sure my gauging is correct. And I'll show you here. I have my swatch still, and as you can see, you're able to measure and see if you'd like to count. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. So I'm using a slightly larger hook, or sorry, larger gauge. I'm going a little bit looser, but I mean, the instructions are pretty much spot on for me with this. So I know that I can make, well, mine's 14, so 1 more. And then if we measure, it says on here 14 rows. I don't think I did 14 rows. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so 14 rows for me is right here. Oh, sorry. I use inches. I'm old school. And you can, as you can see, it is just about to the 4-inch mark there. So I minus 1/8 of an inch. So I know to gauge in that extra 1/8 of an inch so that I know the size I need to make my clothes. Okay, so back to the drawing board again one last time. I'll show you again. Make sure you have all of your measurements in from your back where you'd like it to end to your armpit, from your armpit to your nipple, from here to here, and then again from nipple to nipple you want the measurement for here, and then again it's just going to be repeating the other 3 inches, and for me 5.5 inches. So again, it's good to make sure you add up your, mine would be 3 and 3 and 11, which makes 17 inches. So I know when I'm going along, when we start, we're going to stitch mark these dotted lines as we go. I only grabbed 2 stitch markers. I'll probably need more, but grab a couple, keep them on hand. And so we're just going to be constantly measuring as we go. I'll measure the straight edge, not the increase edge. As we go, I will show you how we're going to get this started. Okay, so you're going to want to take your yarn and your hook, and you're going to start by making a slip knot. And I'll show you real quick how to do that if you are unsure. So here's, what I do is I loop it over my finger like so, and this is my tail end here. This is my lead, my working yarn, the long, never-ending end. And I am just going to take my fingers and pinch and twist towards myself, and then I'm making an X there. with this string over top. And then I'm just going to put my hook down in through that loop and grab the yarn and pull that back up through and make it nice and tight. Now you only have to leave a couple inches, just enough to sew in. I say waste not, want not. I really despise when I'm watching a crochet tutorial and they say leave a 6-inch tail, and then all they do is weave in their ends. Realistically, all you need is 2 to 3 inches of tail to weave in your ends. So just so you guys can see measurement wise, I left a 3-inch tail. Okay, so that's absolutely perfect. So what you're going to want to do is, because the swatch said, well, for me it was 13 stitches per 4 inches, and I want to go 12 inches, I'm just going to go 14 times 3, which is, if my math is correct, 42 stitches, 38, yeah, 42 stitches. Okay, so we're gonna just chain loosely 42 stitches. So you're just gonna yarn over and pull your hook through just like this, nice loose chain, because you don't want your work to be bunched and scrunched and stuff. So we're going to do a chain of 42 for my size. Chain as long as you need to for your own personal size. Some people will just start chaining and measure their chain. Now, I'm not against chaining and measuring your chain, but you have to leave in room for either expansion or, for tightening or loosening, we'll say. And if you don't incorporate maybe an extra 1/4 inch, sometimes whether you stitch a little looser or a little tighter, it can seriously affect your work. So I recommend counting your stitches. Keep your stitches and count. That way when we come back down to make the other side of the top, you know when you're back down to, in my case, 42 stitches. Once I get back down to that, then I know that I am ready to finish the other side. Okay, so I am at 44 chains. If you need to pause the video, please pause now to catch up, and we're going to move on with the next step. So after you've got your desired length, if you'd like to take your measuring tape and measure just to see, so you know maybe for next time or whatnot, you can kind of judge how long it will be. I don't have enough camera space to show you, but mine's actually 11.5 inches. So I'm actually going to just go and chain another 4, just so I know it's long enough. Now, it's super important that your chain is the proper length now, because this is determining the length of your top. So mine is now 12 inches long. It's so hard to show under such little space. I'm working about 6 inches above the table here. So once you got your desired length, you're going to chain 1 more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet into the back bump, because people are still going to see this edge, and I want it to be a nice, pretty finished edge. And if you don't know how to do this, I did a 12 tips and tricks for crochet video. I will link it below for you guys to check out if you have not yet to see it. But I do teach you how to crochet in the back bump. So normally we would skip the first, come on camera, please focus, there we go. We would skip the first stitch and crochet right into, chain and crochet into that chain. But what we're going to do this time is we're just going to flip the braid over, and you can see these little bumps. Now the first bump is here behind my yarn. You can't really see it that well. There's the first bump, so that's the one we're not going to work into. We're going to work into this one here, closer to my right thumb. And we're just doing single crochets. And if you don't know how to do a single crochet, it's just yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. So simple. So simple. A teenager could make this. Even someone younger if they were talented. So again, into this back bump here. And yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. So we're just going to keep working down the back bump all the way down our chain, doing a single crochet, in each stitch, or sorry, in each chain. I did this in my V-stitch video as well. I'll link that one down below too. If you guys have yet to delve into my Southpaw Stitch series episodes, I highly suggest you do. I've got about almost 20 suggestions now from my 200 subscriber giveaway video. I also suggest you check that out. I will put it as at the end screen bullet at the end of the video, as well as I will link it below too. Now, because this is quite a long make, I don't want this to be a super long video, so I am going to release this in a crochet along style. So I'm going to release the first part. Well, now that you know what we're doing, you can obviously probably get the gist of it after the second or third part of the video. But once you guys see the video, you can catch up to me. If you've never done a crochet along, I guess I should kind of explain what that is while I'm doing my chains here, my foundation row. A crochet along is something that we'll make together, and I release it in parts instead of doing the whole thing all at once and doing one super long 1-hour tutorial like my backpack tutorial, which I can also link below. It was released in smaller segments, so like 15-20 minutes at a time. And so with this video, I will probably put out now and then next week, or maybe in 3 days, 4 days, whenever I get around to it. I've got so much stuff on the go, but I'll try not to leave you guys hanging for super, super long. I mean, 4 or 5 days max. And then I'll release another 15-20 minute video segment of where we do the next step in this shirt. Sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied again. This happened to me yesterday. Blech. Okay, so I'm just going to finish my chain, and I'm going to pause here so you guys aren't just watching me chain and listen to me babble. And I will meet you back here when you finish your single crochet foundations. Okay, so I just finished my last single crochet in here. Now this tail needs to be sewn in. There's no way to carry it on with us. And at the end of the row, all we're going to do is chain 1 and then turn your work. And then you're going to skip this first stitch and you're going to single crochet into the next stitch and into the next stitch, and you're just going to keep single crocheting back and forth until you get your desired from back to armpit measurements. So just before I carry on too far here, I just want to lay this down. Now that I know that this is the length it's going to be, it's kind of twisting on me a tiny bit. I should have probably gone one size up in my hook, but I'm just going to quickly measure and see. And that is such a good thing that I put that extra 4 or so single crochets in there, because you can't quite see it. There's the 12-inch mark. Let me line it up again. I had just enough. I maybe a fraction of a 1/16 of an inch off, if that. So you're just going to keep carrying on back and forth until you get to the next part, which is, sorry, here I'm flipping through pages trying to find my pictures. You're just going to keep carrying on back and forth along here until you've reached your desired measurement. If you're doing the same size as me, would be 5.5 inches. And I will meet you back here at the end once you've reached your 5.5 or whichever inches you so choose. Okie dokie, so we are just about to the end of what is my final row, and should be your final row as well, before we start increasing for the chest. And these last stitches, sorry, give me such a tough time. Alrighty, so I'm just going to measure just to make sure, and we have got inches, please. 5.5 inches, bang on. So that's perfect for what I'm going for. So the next step and the final step for this part of the crochet along is we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then you're going to single crochet for a small bust size 7. So that would be myself, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then in the next stitch I'm going to do 2 single crochets, which is also an increase. And then I'm going to take one of my stitch markers and I'm going to pop it in the second of the 2 single crochets and carry on single crocheting down to the end and back. And you can pause it now and I will show you what to do when we come back up to our stitch marker. Okay, so I'm just coming back to my stitch marker here. I've gone down the body to the end and back up, and I have now hit my stitch marker. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to crochet, take our stitch marker out, and here's our 2 single crochets, increase here and here, and we're going to want to single crochet the first increase, and then we're going to do an increase in the second increase. I know it sounds so confusing. Just give me 1 second here. I can do a little example for you. I'll just re-show you again here. So this here is my first increase stitch and my second increase stitch, and on the way back I just did 1 single crochet in the first one and then I increased in the second one. So what I'm going to want to do now is put my hook or my stitch marker back into that second increase stitch and carry on single crocheting your row. I'm having some serious problems keeping my yarn on my hook today. So there should be, for whichever amount of stitches you counted before you did your increase, for me it was 7. You should always maintain a stitch count of, I'm going to go with my number for the sake of the fact that I don't want to keep going off topic. We want to make sure that every time you go down and back your rows that there's 7 stitches in between your stitch markers. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we got our marker. That's perfect. Okay, so we're at the end of our row. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're just going to carry on doing that exact same thing, down and back, until we have our desired from armpit to nipple measurement. So I'm skipping the first stitch and single crocheting into the next, and that is 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we've hit our stitch marker. So we are going to do an increase, and an increase, Christine, and we will just pop our stitch marker back in just so we know when we get back to that spot. It's kind of tricky to tell until you start working it up, and as you start going, it will start making a weird angle like this. Your work will literally go like this, and it'll go all wonky shape. We're making the cup for the side of the left or right breast, whichever you're choosing to do. So you're just going to carry on doing that single crochet increase on the 7th stitch, or whichever stitch you chose for your bust size, and we're going to wrap this part of the summer top tutorial crochet along up for now. And when I release the next video for you guys, Hopefully we'll be on the same page and have the part of our cup done to the however many inch mark spot we chose. I'm just gonna grab my book here so that I don't sound like I'm talking Chinese. And okay, so we are crocheting from here. You should have just started here. And once you get to your nipple measurement there, for me, I did a 3-inch on each side here. So you should have, for my size, 8.5 inches. Well, measure across the bottom because this will warp up. So you want to measure across the bottom. So once I get to an 8.5 inch length of my increases, I know when I need to stop. And so the next video that I'll put out for you guys will be the second part, and I'll show you how to work the chest as well as the decrease and finish off. And then I think I'll call that for that second part of the video. And then when I do part 3, we'll come back and we'll make sure that our measurements are all correct. And I will show you guys how to do the loops for the crisscrossing, as well as the straps, and how to weave it all together and finish it all up to look super duper cute. Okay, so this is the wrap up of part 1 of 3 for my crochet summer top first crochet along. I'm so excited. So I'll check in with you guys in about 3-4 days, and I will release part 2. And make sure that you hit the like and subscribe buttons in the bottom corner so that you're notified for when I put those videos up. And again, if you haven't entered my 200 subscriber giveaway, go ahead and do so. I'll leave it at the end for you to go ahead and enter. And yep, make sure you like my Facebook page. I'm almost at 100 followers on my Facebook page, so I'd much appreciate it if you guys head over there. I'll have all my affiliate links below in the description. My Patreon, starting at only $2 a month to support me on my journey. I have a blog through Blogger, which is a definite must read. I now have 4 blog entries in, and I'm working on entry 5, and I can't be more thrilled because I absolutely love doing these blogs. And again, I'll just leave a link down there for my Etsy store as well, and I hope everyone is having an awesome and amazing weekend. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for my We Chill Wednesdays, which has moved to 5:30, so I can watch Katrina's Crochet World live and join in with her. So I will be now doing my live at 5:30. Make sure you go and click the little reminder for that when it pops up on your screen if you see it, and come and hang out with me for an hour or 2, and just kind of talk whatever, crochet, mostly what I've been up to this week, yada yada yada. Anyways, I'm not going to make this outro 5 minutes long. Just make sure you give me that thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed and the bell. Leave me a comment, anything. I love reading your guys' comments, so please give me comments. I love hearing from you. And I will see you on Wednesday for We Chill Wednesday, and if not, I might be releasing part 2 on Wednesday as well. I might have to do it on Thursday, but yeah, stay tuned for more Southpaw Stitch series episodes. I'm working on currently episode 3. It's a secret. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Okay, anyways, thanks guys. Love you all. Take care.